Sierra, I know it's been a while, but how have you been? Are you doing well?
Who is this?
Don't tell me you forgot about your own mother.
My mom?
I heard from your Aunt Eleanor that you finished college and got a job.
From Aunt Eleanor.
Yeah, but don't get mad at her. I pretty much forced her to give me your number. She didn't want to, but I made her do it anyway. I know it might be too late to say this to you, but I really want to see you again.
Now? After all this time? After you turned your back on Dad and me and never once spoke to either of us in all these years? Do you think you can just message me out of the blue like this?
I didn't turn my back on you two. I just fell in love with someone else. You're an adult now, so you should be able to understand. You can't stop love.
You fell in love with someone else. Not only did you cheat on Dad, but you also stole all of his savings and left without saying goodbye to either of us. You abandoned us and left us with nothing.
Don't say it like that. I needed that money for my new life.
Don't you think you should have relied on that new guy to provide for you instead of stealing from us? You caused nothing but problems for Dad and me. I can't believe my own mom would do that to us.
Hey, I only took what I was entitled to. If I would have divorced your dad, I would have still gotten half, right? I left your dad the house. All I took was the money in the bank. It would have worked out the same either way.
Oh, is that so? Because the house wasn't paid for. You mean you left him the mortgage on the house and took all his money? You only ran away because you knew Dad would sue you for compensation money for cheating on him. You wouldn't have gotten half. You would have gotten sued. You're a liar and a thief. I hate you. I don't want to see you.
Sierra, don't say that to me. I was worried about you the whole time. I just didn't have the courage to contact you again until now.
Well, I never wanted you to contact me again. Whether you were worrying about us or not, Dad and I did just fine without you. In fact, we were happy without you.
Sierra, please, don't say things like that. Let me see you again. Just one last time. I want to see your face again. That's all I'm asking for. Please.
I don't know. I can't give you an answer right now. This is all too much for me right now.
I understand. Me messaging you out of the blue and asking to see you again like this. Will you at least think about it? Please. I'll message you again in a few days when you've had time to think. Sierra, what do you think? Have you had enough time to think about it?
Yeah,
Does that mean you'll let me see you again?
guess?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
But this doesn't mean I'm forgiving you. Dad said it might be my last chance, so if I wasn't totally against it, it might be a good idea.
Oh, yeah, your dad. I heard his father passed away not long ago.
Yeah, and Grandma passed away years ago. I'm all he has left now. So Dad figured if I wanted to see you again, I should do it before it's too late.
I heard your grandpa passed away just over 2 months ago, huh? How's your dad taking it? Is he okay?
He was really sad for a while, but he's doing much better now.
I'm glad. Doing better. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
No, we're fine.
So, did your dad say anything about me?
No, not really.
I was just wondering if maybe he wanted to see me again, too.
I highly doubt that. Are you saying you want to see Dad again?
Well, I mean, if it's possible. I really want to apologize for what I did to him all those years ago.
I don't think Dad cares about that anymore. We've all moved on. You don't need to worry about apologizing to him.
Hey, Sierra, do you think your dad and I could ever reconcile? Please. I know I cheated on him in the past, but I've realized after all these years of searching, that there's just no better man than him.
What? Nobody asked you to try looking.
Just ask him for me. See what he says, okay?
No way. Was telling me that you wanted to see me again just your way of trying to get back with Dad? I can't believe you. You can forget about me ever meeting up with you.
But why?
I'm not stupid. You just wanted to use me so you could try to get back with Dad. On second thought, I don't want to see you again. Ever. Goodbye.
Sierra, where are you? Why haven't you come home yet?
What? What do you mean?
I'm waiting outside your house for you or your dad to come home. But your dad hasn't come home yet either. Are both of you working late tonight? Are you doing overtime?
If you're where I think you are, you're standing outside of an empty house.
Huh?
Dad and I moved out of that place.
What? Why? When?
Actually, it wasn't that long ago. Dad took early retirement. He bought a small house out in the country. He's loving it there. And I don't live with Dad anymore. I've got my own place.
But there's no way your dad could have had this house paid off by now with his salary. He didn't use the inheritance he got from his dad to buy a new house, did he? He must have just gotten that inheritance too. I can't believe he blew it already. What a waste.
What do you mean, what a waste? It's Dad's money. He can do whatever he wants with it.
No, he can't. I was going to remarry him.
What? What are you talking about? It's bad enough you tried going to his house without speaking to him first, but why would you think he'd even consider taking you back?
Well, I never told you, but after I left your dad, he messaged me. He begged me to come back to him. He said he'd wait for me as long as it took.
Oh, really? And you think he's still waiting for you? You don't even have his contact information.
Well, I'm assuming things happened and he had to buy a new cell phone at some point. It's all just bad timing. But I know he still loves me.
Well, he did get a new cell phone with a new number, but that was years ago.
But I'm sure he's still waiting for me, hoping. So, where did your dad move to? Can you give me his address? And did he happen to mention how much he had to pay for this new house of his? I guess it's possible he didn't use his inheritance to buy a house in the country. If he sold this one and bought a smaller one, he probably still has lots of money left over, right? He probably didn't have to use any of his inheritance, right?
Now I see. I see why you messaged me after all these years. I wasn't sure at first, but now it's as clear as day. You're just after Dad's money again, aren't you?
No, of course not.
Yeah, right. You've done nothing but talk about money this whole time.
Well, we'll need some money to start our new life together. That's the only reason I'm curious. We have to manage our money properly to make sure there's enough for our future.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. You're not married to him anymore, so his finances have nothing to do with you. And besides, Dad's already remarried.
What? You're kidding.
It's true. He married a beautiful younger woman years ago. They're really happy together. Sorry, but there's no room for you in his house.
Years ago? I can't believe this. There's no way any woman would want to marry that man. He's not very good looking and he had a kid.
Mom, didn't you just say that there's no better man than my dad?
Well, that was. I mean, I'm capable of seeing his inner beauty. But other women.
If you could see his inner beauty, you never would have left him in the first place.
I'm telling you, the only reason that woman married your dad is for his money. I'm sure of it. That's the only reason any woman would marry an older man.
I think you're assuming every woman is like you. His wife's a nice person. Don't try to make her out to sound like you.
What do you mean? Look, Sierra, I'm gonna come clean with you. Your mom's in a lot of trouble right now.
Why? Because you found out Dad won't remarry you. You only ever think of yourself.
That's not true. What I mean is, I'm in a lot of debt right now. I have to pay $25,000 by the end of this month.
If you're coming back looking for money, I can only assume the guy you left Dad for kicked you to the curb long ago. That's too bad. I wish you all the best with that. Bye!
Hold on a minute. You've got a job now, right? You've probably got a little bit of money saved up, huh? When we meet up to talk, do you think you could bring it for me? And you probably got something left to you when your grandpa died, right? Could you bring that for me too? If I can't come up with this 25 back by the end of the month, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble.
You're really something, aren't you? Do you think I have any intentions of meeting up with you after everything you've told me? What little feelings I had for you when you first messaged me are completely gone now. If you got yourself into that much debt, even after stealing all Dad's savings, get yourself out of it.
Are you just going to abandon your mom?
You abandoned us first. Dad and I are both happy without you in our lives. If you really care about us, you'll never contact us again.
And what exactly is so great about your lives? If that dad of yours is with a younger woman, that's just disgusting. I don't know what that woman is thinking if she wants to be with your dad. This is all ridiculous.
What are you talking about? Dad fell in love with someone new. You know what that's like, right? After all, it was you who said, "You can't stop love." I don't know how she managed to do it, seeing as she was in so much debt. But my mom hired a private detective to track down my dad. Once she got his address, she showed up at his new house. She started accusing my stepmom of just being after my dad's money. She even tried to throw my stepmom out of my dad's house. But the instant she put hands on my stepmom, my dad called the police, and my mom was arrested. My dad, my stepmom, and I all had a restraining order placed on my mom. Her entire reason for coming back around was just to get money from my dad. Our whole family, as well as my mom's side, knew exactly what she had done to my dad and me when she left us all those years ago, so none of her relatives cared to help her out of her current financial situation either. I guess because she couldn't find anyone to pay off her debts for her, she decided to just run from them instead. Nobody has seen or heard from her since the incident at my dad's house. For a while, we all felt like she might pop out of the shadows again at any minute. But things have been quiet for quite a while now, and we hardly think about it anymore. But if she ever does show up again, you can bet we'll make full use of our restraining orders. D.